Hey guys, welcome to Split. Today we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6, a throwback to a not so distant past where Samsung has realized that the bezel does make sense. Did I just flash? Okay, so you can tell this is slightly different from the Galaxy Watch 6 in terms of this is the Watch 6 Classic. So Samsung figured out that this bezel, which gives it the classic feel, also makes sense from an input point of view because that's less time touching that screen and using that cool rotating bezel that gives you that tactile feel, which I think works. That's one. The second part, which I think makes it cooler, is that it does give you a second level of protection against scratches on the screen, because if you hit a wall, you're more likely to catch that bezel. Or if you back fist someone like, the nose is probably gonna hit that bezel first. It's not like you should go around back fisting people, I'm just saying, if you do. What else is different on the outside? Well, not that much. The bands are still 22mm selections, which I think is weird for such a large watch that comes in two variants, 43 and 47mm variants. This is the 47 version, which I have on my wrist right now. It feels comfortable, even though it is a big watch and I don't have very big wrists. What else? The strap has a one-click mechanism that makes it easier to put on and take off. I mean, originally they had those clips on the side, which did make them easier, but now Samsung has said, just strap for dummies. Just press this button, slide it in there, press it, take it out, which is good and makes life easier when you're swapping out bands, especially for smartwatches, given that you will have multiple options for casual or sport or whatever it is you want to do for the day. The faux stitching they have on looks already cool. You could have, depending on where you bought this watch, you may have gotten the fabric band with it as part of the deal, or you just went out and bought one because it does feel more comfortable, in my opinion. And that just makes it easier to swap out on the go as you proceed. What else physically? The Watch 6 has a sapphire screen, like I said before, and it goes up to an awesome 2000 nits, and it has 14% more pixels, well, because the display is larger altogether, making it for easy viewing in all situations. The case is stainless steel here versus the titanium on the Watch 5 Pro. Hence, this is slightly heavier. Well, yeah, slightly heavier. Like I said, I don't feel the difference much because it is wrapped snugly around my wrist. But they want that more finished premium look, especially if you bought the silver version of this watch, and then you truly appreciate them using stainless steel as an option. But the back is still ceramic, so don't drop it on that face. It will shatter like ceramic. Inside is a W930 chip, which is faster than the W920 chip from the previous generation. So it is a faster SoC, but your mileage will vary in terms of how much you notice it being actually faster. Not a lot of people do a lot of heavy lifting with their smartwatch. Most of the processing is already happening back end if you're working out, so again, it, but I'm not sure you can actually tell the difference if you actively look for that speed variation. And you can still drop this in water. For those of you, that's your thing, you can still swim with this because it's still rated for IP68, dust and water resistance. Fun fact, if you think about it, the Watch 6 Classic gives you 16 gigabytes of storage, and that's the same as the last generation. But if you compare that to something like the Pixel Watch, that gives you 32 gigabytes of internal storage, 32 gigabytes of internal storage for a cheaper watch. Now I know there are some trade-offs to be made in terms of functionality, but still, just putting it out there. Let's talk software experience. So if you're familiar with the Samsung lineup, this is pretty much the same. It's one UI slided over Wear OS 4. So very familiar interface here. This bezel, which I really like, if the watch goes into hibernation for a while, let's say you haven't touched the screen for a bit, does every now and then forget that it's supposed to activate the screen, so it just falls asleep and you have to spin it around a couple of times to remember that, hey, I need to turn the screen. But it is what it is. I'd rather have that lag than not have the bezel at all. And yeah, you can still swap out Bixby, which I must say has improved quite a bit, for Google Assistant. Yes, because that's what we're used to. But like I said, Bixby has improved quite a bit, but I'd rather stick with the devil, experience even installing this. So Samsung Wear Manager isn't by default sitting on your phone if you're not using a Samsung device. If you're using an average Android device, so you have to install a third-party app from Samsung, the Wear Manager. It can be touchy to install depending on the phone. I noticed I had problems installing on the Pixel for a while. It will install, it'll tell you it's there, and then not find the watch, and then I reset the watch like twice, and eventually. But I suspect this is a peculiar situation for me, even though I did ask around, and some people said they had that problem for a while, but it did resolve when they updated it, so, you know, beware. That may happen or may not happen, but stick with it. It will work eventually. And when it does work, every now and then I realize there's some micro errors. Even though I did give it all permissions, the watch may not show who's calling, and I have to look at the phone to realize who's calling, which defeats the purpose of me trying to find out who's calling on my wrist before pulling out my phone. And when I reset and give it all the permissions again, it'll sort of autocorrect itself. Some forums have said that some of those permissions are automatically switched off in the back. I don't know what's going on there, but it is happening to me. So if you guys have a fix, please sound on in the comments below. Help me out here, because I don't want to have to guess numbers every time I look at my watch. It still has all those nifty little tricks, controlling your PowerPoint, controlling zoom with the rotating bezel is also pretty cool on your Samsung device. Put the phone over there, click zoom, move, feeling like Bond, but you know, at least that's there, that's still there. Features, apart from a faster SoC, everything you already know is sitting in here. Fitness tracking, body composition measurements, heart rate measurements, there's even a temperature sensor in here, and so on. But nothing really groundbreakingly new. It still has some classics, you know, like auto detect, which is something I really love about the smartwatch, which figures out that you have been doing something continuously for a while, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it just starts to register and tell you, would you like me to register this as a workout, you know, for you, you lazy punk? I'm like, yes, please. The store is really far away, so this should count as a workout. So it's good that they left that in there. But other than that, not very large changes to the experience. Well, there is one thing though. You can actually pair this watch with a new phone without having going through the stress of completely wiping it, which was a bit of a hassle once I learned that trick. So I do appreciate that extra feature. I do not appreciate that battery life still sucks, especially for a lot of smartwatches that are this good. This thing still has to visit the charger every night. I mean, every night. If you want to push it, you literally have to turn everything on. Go into gray mode, just put on the digital clock and hope for 48 hours. But at that point, you no longer have a smartwatch. You just have a, you know, a digital clock on your wrist. What's the point in that? And because I've owned a Watch 5 Pro, where's that thing? This thing can do 80 hours, easy. So I can even force it into a 3-day use watch. This is the watch when I want to go long distances, I would wear this watch because I trust the battery life. Even though this one has a faster SoC, looks nice, you know, but yeah. If I could just take the bezel from here and stick it onto this one, I would have the perfect watch, but you know, you get what you get. You can't have everything in life. And that's what I think about the battery. But I guess at some point we will get better with these batteries and figure out how the technology moves. I mean, there are lots of smartwatches out there that are doing great work. I'm not gonna drop any names, but some point, I guess when the technology is perfected, Samsung and Apple will just port them over and we'll all be happier people. Final take, like I said at the beginning, this really is a spec bump like everything else Samsung has done this year. With the biggest changes coming to the Flip 5, in my opinion. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out over there. But if you already owned a Watch 5 or even a Watch 5 Pro, in my opinion, this is a better watch from a functionality plus battery longevity standpoint. You could always swap out the bands. I mean, it's cool with the one-trick click on the new watch and the rotating bezel is back, which I really love. Would have been great to move that over to the Watch 5 style watch. Who knows, maybe a Pro may still be in the lineup for Samsung. You never know. But that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It is a good watch. It's still the best Android watch so far. You know, but again, that's what I think for Android users. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're new here, please subscribe. Welcome, thank you. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.